A major statement from the champions. Add into the mix that Manchester United missed a late penalty and were beaten by Aston Villa a goal to nil. It actually makes it feel like a pretty significant day, actually, doesn't it?
I think for Manchester City more than anyone, they've beaten a contender for the title, a team that everyone was saying that if anyone finishes above them, they win the league. This was a statement performance today, not just a result. It was a 1-0 beating today. Chelsea didn't at any time in this game look part of the game, look like a team that could actually get anything out of it. City dominated in all areas, the intensity, the press, the possession, the chances on goal. I mean, if Mendy doesn't play today, they probably concede 3 or 4. So it was a really convincing result, and I think it's just what Man City needed. The players, and Pep, who's been unbelievably questioned this week about certain aspects of his management and some of the statements he's made, but today he put to bed all of that, any doubt if anyone was out there doubting him.
All these questions about should Manchester City have bought a striker, a man with the number 9 on his back gets the winner.
That's the thing, and we spoke about it before the game, and it just looked like the players of Man City played to their best suited performance and situation. And like Rio said, it was so dominant for Chelsea not to create any chances or look like a part of the game and like there was a threat, but remarkable performance from Man City.
So did Manchester City stop Chelsea playing today, or were Chelsea particularly poor, do you think?
I think it was a bit of both. I think you really need to credit Pep. Like I said, it's absurd that he's even getting questioned with what he does. I think today you have to look, De Bruyne's getting up to speed of it all. You know, they regardless of what the great players around him, he's the pivot of it all. He makes it all happen, and he come out in the second half and he started to get on the ball. Bernardo Silva was outstanding, but Chelsea played their part today. Tuchel's gone with a 3 in midfield, and I think it left them a bit short in that position from getting from midfield to attack. So Lukaku and Werner, I thought, were done what they said they was going to do. They were running in behind, but the ball was never arriving. So Chelsea never got a foothold in the game, and they just didn't threaten. They had a little spell after Havertz come on, but I think it's a little bit of Manchester City were outstanding, and Chelsea, as brilliant as they've been, were just not at it with a new system.
I think if you read the two managers on the touchline, I think if you read the body language of Tuchel, and what it was saying was about his team almost weren't up to speed today. They weren't pressing, they weren't getting close enough to people. And sometimes you can take formations and a structure of team and tactics out of it. The intensity wasn't there maybe from the beginning. From the first minute I saw Tuchel was up when someone didn't get close enough or the team weren't high enough, and it happened all game. He weren't happy with it. And I think in the change room there, that's one of the things he'll be saying. We weren't at the races today. Forget everything else. We weren't at the races. But today you have to admit they were beaten by a better side.
Well, let's have a look at the goal that the better side scored. Chelsea should be grateful it was only 1 in the end.
Yeah, Rio said Mendy was outstanding today, but this finish, this bit of turn, bit of magic from a number 9, got himself back to goal, and he didn't look to turn, he just looked to get a shot off. And sometimes you get a bit of luck, and he's got that with the deflection, but he's earned it because he was one of the top performers as well today. It could have been a number of Man City players got man of the match today, and he was outstanding.
Do you know, I was so impressed with what he does off the ball, Jesus, when you watch his movement. But he's fox in the box, isn't he, really? He gets his little shift of his feet, and he's got a little bit of luck in the end. But he is that player that can get you 25, 30 goals a season if he plays to his strengths, more in a central position. He does such a great job for this Manchester City team.
I think he's a player that teammates would look back in years and go, I love playing with him.
Yeah.
He gives you everything. He works off the ball. He's a nuisance to play against. I mean, a centre-half, Jolyon, you're the same as me. He'd be a nuisance.
Yeah.
He's always around you. He's aggressive. He backs into you. He leaves his feet in there, his arms and everything. And if he can get a few more goals, maybe he could be the answer. Listen, he's Brazil number 9, plays for Brazil, so he's got quality.
That's as uncomfortable as I've seen Rudiger play against anyone. When he was trying to bully him, he was matching him up and he was facing him up and driving at him. So, as I said, it's not many forward players that have done that to Rudiger.
Well, you say maybe he could be the answer. Well, haven't Manchester City already found the answer? They've now scored as many goals in the Premier League this season as Chelsea have, and they went and bought Romelu Lukaku. I mean, we can see all the chances they created today. They haven't got that talismanic number 9, but they create chances and they score goals.
Yeah, and I think it's not about personnel. It's about rotations. It's about the structure of their team, the way he sets them up, the way he spreads out their defenders. You're getting 1v1 situations like this, or 2v1s, overloads in wide areas. Jack Grealish could have had a couple of goals on another day. But it's about the way they make defenders feel really uncomfortable in the way that they play. And hard to play against.
Yeah, you talk about number 9. Like, all of these chances here are when they're overloaded in wide areas and coming back. And there's bodies in the box. It doesn't matter who that is.
Yeah.
You know, so they play like in a shoe-on shape. They don't play with a centre forward. So the centre halves who are playing against them don't know who to mark. They get pulled out of positions. Jack Grealish runs into, whether it's Bernardo Silva, Grealish, Foden, they run into the holes left by not having a striker. So all this talk about they haven't got number 9 and they can't compete. They don't need one because they've got 4 9.5s. Bernardo Silva, Jesus, Foden, Grealish. If they all chip in with 15 goals a season, which they all will, if they play like that tonight, it's not a problem at all.
I'll tell you one thing that was missing today for me from the Chelsea perspective. You can talk about tactics, etc., but the energy and the ability to connect the forward players with the midfielders, Mason Mount. What he does for this team in connecting the midfield and forwards is huge for me, and I think that energy as well will be something that I'm sure Tuchel will be looking at and thinking I need to get him back as soon as possible.
Yeah, we'll talk Chelsea in more detail in just a moment, but first let's get some instant reaction from Pep Guardiola. He's now with Des.
Pep, you must be very pleased with that result today and the way you dominated the contest as well.
Yeah, just 3 points, but important ones. You know, the king of the Champions League, because they won it, and the way we played. So the team always can. We can think play good or play bad, but always it doesn't matter where we play. We try to do it, and today the guys were outstanding. So in this stadium against this opponent, and did what we have done. Make me so proud, and of course the result to these 3 points.
You mentioned pride. What was the most pleasing aspect of the performance? The result, obviously, but was it the fact that you had so much of the ball, that you dominated first half particularly?
Come here and do our game. So sometimes you cannot do it because the opponent is better. Do it our game. So we were courage to press high, and they could not make the build-up like they are masters, and they are so good, and that's why I'm pleased for the way we played.
Jesus got the goal, of course. He's now decided that he wants to play on the right, but he can still. Gabriel Jesus scored the important goal. He's trying. He's now saying he likes to play on the right, but he can still deliver down the middle, can't he?
Yeah, it was an action for the set pieces, so that was he was in the middle, and Gabriel is always give everything. So you cannot say anything to him. So every single game. Run for his teammates, every single action. So that's why with this type of players make me so happy.
Does it make you happy that you've beaten Chelsea and just stopped that run of 3 defeats? It must niggle with you.
Listen, in my career I won and I lose. I never scored a goal, I never save a penalty. So, I know the statistics for with Thomas or with before with Jose and with Jurgen, with the other ones, we don't play. So I never said, I never been in a press conference to win a title, so I won. Here is many people. So if they beat us the previous times, it's because they are exceptional. So, and you can lose 3 and 4 and 5, but in this process, I saw perfectly the way we played. We were ourselves. We could not be able to attack better, or many reasons, my decision, wrong decisions, we don't know. But we were ourselves. And that is, what I say, if they beat us, it could beat today. Yeah, of course, they are exceptional team.
One good statistic, one you like, is you're now the Manchester City manager who's had the most wins ever in the history of the club. That's a nice landmark.
I'm so proud as well. We have done it. We have done it in this milestone here in Stamford Bridge with the last Champions League winner is special. So yeah, I think this period they have been together, we are together, have been magnificent. We can lose games, lose finals, but the people cannot say the way we play every single game with incredible courage in Stamford Bridge, in Anfield, anytime. We go to try to do our game, and that is make me proud, a little bit for myself, but especially for all the club.
And a good start to a very difficult and busy week as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's better starting that way than not.
Cheers, Pep. Thank you.
Well, he's a man with a spring in his step. He would have very much enjoyed beating Thomas Tuchel today, wouldn't he? Let's be totally honest about that.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, they needed points from last week, and also, obviously, their record going head-to-head in the last 3 or 4 games. So, but he's talked on being proud of himself, and he should be, because there's a lot of this talk of Pep's legacy and what it leaves if he doesn't win the Champions League for Man City. No one's doubting Pep's legacy. Yeah. Everyone involved with Manchester City knows what he's done for the club, and we should recognise what he's done for the Premier League as well.
The City fans were pleased to see you, Rio. You quickly reminded them as we walked past that you've won 6 of these. And therefore, you know, if you're going to win them, it's hard work that you need. And City worked so hard today, didn't they, with and without the ball?
Yeah, I mean, they were tremendous. And we can all talk about and we can all love and adore the football, the pretty football that they play and the pictures that they paint. But it's the hard work before anything that enables them to go and play that football. And you see the pressing here on the screen. It's brilliant. It's numbers. It's intensity. Behind it, there's tactics of where you want to show them. But they were brilliant in all this. And they started from word go. Their intention was to put this Chelsea team under pressure. And you're not going to be able to get your head up and play simple balls. That's the beginning of the second half. That's setting the tone straight away. And it was tremendous to see from where we were sat.
It was. We had a great view of it, and particularly, you know, the boys give Cancelo the man of the match. It could have been a number of them, but look here, when you get in and you have to squeeze the pitch, if you look at the other side of the pitch, they're squeezing it from there. The right back's involved. They're condensing the pitch. Pep's great Barcelona team were outstanding at this, and his Manchester City team has the same characteristics. I liken this performance today, Pep versus Tuchel. He hasn't got it right. His team hasn't got it right against Tuchel on the last few occasions, but today they imposed their style of football, their will on the game, and Thomas Tuchel couldn't get Chelsea's into the game because of that. And that man, he deserves all of the credit he gets. Anyone involved in football knows what an outstanding manager he is.
Well, we said it before the game. This Man City team in the previous encounters against Chelsea under Tuchel haven't been allowed to play their own football. Yeah. But today, again, they had the will. They had the desire to do it.
Reversed it and didn't allow Chelsea. Yeah. They forced errors. We've seen Chelsea getting caught at the back, and that's the thing that we haven't seen with Man City do recently against Chelsea.
Do you think, Jolien, it was a little bit of humility from them, from the Champions League final, which we done together, when he played Gundogan in the midfield and thought we're going to dominate possession? Today, he saw the message seems to me from what he must have said to his players, we need to be better out of possession, and that's what won them the game today, then when they was on it.
Oh, 100%, because both elements of their performance we've seen Man City play well and create chances. We've seen them press in periods, but we haven't seen them have a collective performance like that for a while, especially against a team like Chelsea.
I love to see it, and I think in that final he's definitely learnt from it, and you can see the humbling that he took from that final. No defensive midfielder in that game. Today you saw it, and the way that they were secure, they were possession, they were playing high percentage of the ball, but there was security behind that, which was great to see.
All right, let's get the other side of the coin then. Here are the post-match thoughts of Thomas Tuchel.
Thomas, what's your assessment of that game?
Well, we lost the game, and I think we lost. City deserved to win. I think for 60 minutes we were or until the goal, we were very, very strong in the last 20 meters of the field, but only there, unfortunately. And there are other 80 meters left where we were not good enough today to escape pressure, to have ball possession, and not only ball possession to breathe, but also ball possession to switch off play, to hurt them. To grow in confidence. This never happened in first half, also in second half, and then we conceded. Until then we defended very, very well, like I said. The box and the goal was excellent, but this was the only part of the match, so the performance was not complex enough. It was simply overall not on our very best level, and you need very best level to push a game like this to your side. After the goal, it felt a little bit more like that the belief in winning is bigger than the fear of losing something. I don't know why. And we tried to push and got the crowd behind us. City got a bit tired, and we could create more deliveries and more situations around the box. Then it was a very open game, of course, an emotional game. But like I said, never on our highest level, and that's why you cannot expect to get a result. It's always possible to turn things around and to have one delivery with more precision and to header maybe and get an equalizer. But in general, we can accept because, like I said, it was not our best game.
You seemed very animated on the touchline, and you were trying to bring the side forward, actually. You seemed to get pressed back, and the wing-backs were penned in. There was all those things. What did you say at half-time to try and solve this?
More or less the same. We said, we're top in the last 20 meters, but there are another 80 meters to go. We adjusted a little bit our system to a 6-6, so that helped us a little bit, or we thought it might help us. Then we conceded a goal from set play. yeah, and even if we wanted to go for long balls for Romelu, it was not precise enough. I did not feel the belief that we can really escape with short balls. I did not really feel 100% the belief if we play long balls that we believe in it. It was doubtful, and we were a little bit like protecting something, like okay, let's play. It felt like we have something to lose, but there was a lot more to win than to lose, and okay, can happen. We lacked a little bit of freshness also. Engie is ill since some days, and I decided to let him start. Jorginho has some problems. Thiago could not start. So yeah, maybe this is on me. Maybe not the very best choices. Maybe today, but okay.
Thank you very much, Thomas.
Thank you.
Brutally honest, clearly frustrated, but now they get to go to Turin and play a Juve team who have only managed one win all season so far, and then they've got a really nice run of winnable Premier League games actually, so very quickly back on the horse.
Chelsea have had the most difficult start to the Premier League, and to be there or thereabouts is a great start. He's always brilliant when he talks. He's always honest. He says what he feels. He feels he got it wrong today. And to be honest with you, the first time I've ever watched a Chelsea game and thought, when the team come out, I thought, wow, you need to step on Man City, and I felt that was what was missing, the link, like Ree said, like from Mason Mount from midfield to attack. He was animated, he's trying to drive his players, but sometimes you play games when you've got 3 or 4 players who are a little bit off it, whether they're coming back from injury, out of form, and it looked like that. It's not a problem. Chelsea will be there or thereabouts challenging on all fronts this year because of that man and because of the outstanding squad we got.
But it's testament to him that at half-time we're sitting there expecting him to go in there and perform miracles and change the course and direction of the match, because he's done it so often in his short time at the club. But today it didn't happen, and that's inevitable. That was going to happen. There's going to be a time when he didn't get it right. He's taken some of the blame there, as most managers would for their team. But listen, they'll live to fight another day, no doubts.
Yeah, I totally agree. And credit to him for taking responsibility. The only surprising factor to me was that he changed it at the start. Like, he's been dominant against Man City in previous performances and results. And to see a change in formation and a tweak in their style and their play was surprising to me.
Right, BT Sport Score is going to be with us in just a couple of minutes, taking you through the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Brilliant show if you've not seen it before. Then next Saturday, we are going to be at
Everton versus Man United.
How much pressure on Ollie for that one now?
Yeah, after today getting beat at home there, definitely. But no, listen, I just want to see Man United bounce back. That's what you want. You don't want to lose 2 on the bounce. You want to get back on the bike and keep riding. So fingers crossed they can do that.
All right, join us next weekend then for Manchester United up against Everton. Of course, between now and then, a really big week of Champions League football. And we have got a proper title race on our hands, haven't we? It's shaping up very nicely indeed. But right now, lots of 3 o'clock games and a brilliant show to keep you entertained and keep you company throughout the afternoon. BT Sports Score with Daryl and Jules and all of the team. So from us here at Stamford Bridge, thanks for watching, and all yours now. Have a great afternoon, team.